What if I told you that you can fall head over heels in love with yourself? I'm talking that all-consuming, can't get enough, love everything about you type of love. Well, you can. The Self Plus Love Equals Balance podcast is here to show you how. Every week, we'll share tested strategies, personal stories, and invaluable resources to help you take a balanced approach to loving yourself. Here's your host, Carrie, the Balanced Nurse. Let's get to the love.
Hey ladies, welcome back to another episode here with me. I'm Carrie, your host of Self Plus Love Equals Balance podcast, and I am so grateful to be here with you, vibing with you. We're jumping right in to the last series of Manifesting Through Clarity. I was away celebrating some things. If you follow me on any of my social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, or what have you, you know one of those things was my anniversary. So I took some necessary me and family time, but I am back as promised, delivering some more clarity, some more gems, some more just practical advice on how we are going to manifest the best version of you. So if you are, whether you're a veteran or new to this manifestation game, and you're looking for ways that you can really incorporate manifesting everything that you deserve in your life right now, this episode, girl, is for you. And listen, I can't jump in before really just thanking all of you beautiful ladies that have reached out to me in one way or the other. This past week actually has been really amazing. I'm so glad that I'm able to add value to your life. I'm so glad that you enjoy our time together, you enjoy our vibe. And listen, if you are new to our community here, welcome, and I really hope that you like the vibe today as well. All right? So this episode, we are going to discuss how to manifest the best version of you, your life with clarity. We've gone into love, we've gone into finances, and those are little aspects of you in your life. And if those areas are important to you, then that's great, because it'll all, be clumped together. But when we talk about you, we want to really dig into what's you specific, your goals, your purpose, your passion, your health, your self-care. What does that look like right now? And what would you like it to look like? And let's address the in-between. Okay? So when I think about designing our life or co-creating our life, which is what I like to call it, I realize the really critical step that we forget is in the details, right? It's in the details. I give the example of how, we can say that, life sucks, or today was a bad day, and where it's actually not true. There's an aspect of life that probably sucks, and today wasn't a bad day. There were a couple of details in the day that sucked, right? And so when we look at what it is that we want, I want to be successful, I want to be happy, I want to be healthy, I want to be, what does that mean, girl? Right? Give me the details. You want to be successful in what? What is it that you want to do? You want to be in a happy relationship, right? Do you want to be a happy stay-at-home mom, right? Do you want to be a happy entrepreneur that seems as though they have it all, right? And what is all for you? Complete side note, but I think it's right on time with the pandemic and just all of us having to shift, especially during the earlier portion of it, where we are wearing a bunch of hats, right? So you go from being, already mom to now you're like mom, you're homeschooler, you're maid, you're cook, you're housekeeper, you're dog walker, you're whatever. You name it, that was you, right? Handy woman, whatever. And so when we think about it, and I was going over the whole, all these roles or what have you, and I'm like, you know what? If I had to say, what I wanted in life, even if I had the opportunity, and here it is where we are, quarantined, so we can wear all these hats. If I had the opportunity of saying that I could just be a stay-at-home mom, or just be a nurse, or just be an entrepreneur, I wouldn't want that, right? Because I realized that for me, the details in happiness comes from me being able to be efficient, balanced, and having a variety of things going on in my life. Like, I love being a working mom, a fit mom, a boss mom. I love being, all of those roles. And that's because I was very detailed, and I am very detailed on what it is that I want, what it is that I like to do, right? And what it is that happiness means for me. So I bring up this example because, say for instance, you're in a job that you don't like, you're in a career that you don't like, you're in a relationship that you don't like. All of that is cool, right? But it's most important for us to determine down to the details, what is it that would make you happy? What does that look like for you? I like this example, and no shade if this is you, but are you that female that, say there's an uncomfortable conversation that needs to be had, and maybe it may be an argument or something, and it's going to turn into an argument because of the parties involved and the topic involved or whatever. And so you're getting ready for your day, you're getting ready to meet up with this person or be in this experience, and you start rehearsing what you're going to say, right? I know I'm not the only one. And I got a lot of fire in me, and so sometimes that rehearsal, can get a little bit hot and heavy, but you rehearse this, and you know that down, if they say this, I'm going to say this. And if they do this, then I'm going to do right? If you can relate to this, congratulations, because you are a manifester. Especially if you can recall that scenario and it actually played out in that way or similar. Right? Because all that you did was use your imagination, your energy to be able to say, hey, listen, this is what I want to occur in this conversation or in this experience. That's all you did, right? There wasn't any magic to it, right? All depending on how you want to look at it. So I say that because you want to take that same energy and apply it into the details of your life, so that when you are manifesting your life, you are doing it through a space of clarity, because clarity is all about the details. Okay? So talk about like your purpose, or like, what are you here for? These are common questions. It's like, what's my purpose? What am I here for? And I like to ask questions like, what is it that keeps you going? Because technically we don't have to do anything, right? You get up, you go to work because you have to pay the bills, but who says that you have to, right? You have this inner limit to yourself. But there's certain things that you're just not going to let happen, right? We have certain non-negotiables. And when we're looking to gain some clarity, maybe it would be beneficial if we reassess what our non-negotiables are. I remember Tony Robbins had talked about this in one of his talks. He had made mention of, those of us that we struggle with lack mentality. We have a certain non-negotiable. So, we may be able to pay the bills. We may be able to put groceries in the house. We may be able to put clothes on our back. But if you talk about starting a business or investing or getting a luxury car, whatever it is, all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, I cannot, nope, can't afford that, no, I got this, and this going on, and then my mama has this going on, and my grandmother has this going on, and my auntie, cousin, friends has this going on, I just cannot. Sounds familiar, right? Because you have this non-negotiable of saying, like, I need a roof over my head, and that's just I'm not going to mess that up kind of thing. But anything that seems out of your reach or out of your comfort zone, out of your control, it's like you decide that you're going to tuck your head in and no, I can't do that. So if we're trying to address questions like, what's our purpose and why are you here? I wanted to share with you my formula, my secret sauce. And I'll address it in two different ways because I know that there are some of you amazing ladies that you know what your purpose is. You know what you're passionate about. And for you, manifesting your life, if you already know what you're passionate about and you already know what your purpose is, it has everything to do with alignment. Making sure that you are in alignment. And you have an added responsibility because that's why they say that ignorance is bliss. Because once you know, you have an added responsibility to make sure that whatever you are doing at all times is in alignment with your purpose, with your goals, with what you're trying to do. And no, we're not perfect, but just know that when you do meet resistance and when things happen and you have hiccups, very often it's not bad luck, it's not bad energy, it's, girl, you out of alignment. Like, is this, if you are trying to go here, why are you taking that detour over there, right? If you're trying to manifest your soulmate, why are you entertaining this emotionally unavailable narcissistic man? Like those type of things. Be in alignment. If you're trying to level up in your life in terms of your career, your whatever it is that you're doing, being in a passionate space or what have you, stop scrolling, stop napping, stop gossiping. What are you doing to move you towards that space? And I'll go into, just in general, but if you are someone that you know what your passion and your purpose is, your added responsibility is to make sure that you are in alignment. Make sure that you are doing the work so that your mindset matches where you're trying to go. Your lifestyle, you're making the moves to try to get you where you want to go with that focus in mind, right? Now, if you are one of these ladies where, and we've all been there, we all have to start somewhere. It's like, what is my purpose? What am I passionate about? I'm so busy. There's a lot going on. I feel like, I'm just checking off things to do, and I'm always pouring out of my cup. And I don't know. I don't know what it is that I like to do, So you have the very big responsibility, first off, to commit to finding what this is, right? Because the very simple, common, old school motivational quote is, what you focus on grows, right? So if you feel as though you lack purpose and you lack passion, that's fine. No one's knocking you for that. But now you have to commit to figuring out what that is. And very simply, start doing things that you don't normally do. And pay attention to the things that you do normally do, right? So if you love planning events, planning parties, if you love getting people together and making things beautiful, and you find that you're that go-to person, and when you do it well. I have a girlfriend of mine that she's a nurse, and she does event planning absolutely like you would think that this is what she does on a daily. And the reason why it comes off that way is because that is her passion. That is what she can lose sleep over. She can do for extended periods of time and not really pay attention to time. What is that for you? Right? Take inventory. What do you like to do that you get lost and it doesn't feel like work for you? And if you don't have that particular thing, it's time to start trying new things. When I started out on my journey, I committed to, and I don't want to say, as a little disclaimer, I don't want to say that I felt as though I didn't know what my purpose was. I always, from a young age, knew that I was here to heal people. I knew that I'm a healer. That, to me, was very concrete. The way in which I was to do it was the piece that was missing. The other secret that we'll get into in another time is that it's all about how you feel, right? So if something makes you uneasy, even if it looks like it checks off all your boxes, and on the exterior, it is like, people are envying you. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she has that and she doesn't. If it doesn't feel good, girl, it's not for you. It's just what and you don't even have to give an explanation for it. It's just what it is, right? So if we're trying to find your purpose, your passions, and that's something that you're clouded about, and you are not able to find anything after scanning, your own inventory of your life as far as things that you like to do, it's time to get out and do new things. And for me, that was my self-love dates that I took myself out on very regularly. Could be anywhere from every week to every other week. And it was something to where I went somewhere new. I fell in love with like poetry slams and poetry spots. And, I thought it was something that I could only see on TV. And then no, I'm like, oh, no, I'm going into the city. I'm going to this poetry spot. When you go to these things, the key thing is to pay attention to how you feel. And this is just my example, but that can be anything for you. We're in these times that you can really just pick your poison and say, you know what, let me try this, let me try that. You never know who you would meet, who you connect with. I have connected with the most amazing people during my self-love dates and just my little impromptu outings. And through that, I will tell you, just as a testimony, fast forward, that most definitely has to do with how I am in this space and found what my purpose has been as far as healing in my particular way. I love connecting with women. I love hearing your story. I love being able to get an invitation to be on the passenger seat of your journey and seeing that transformation, connecting with ladies like, what's your story? What's going on with you? So you are on a quest to figure out what your passion is, okay? Or what your passions are, whatever. Okay, and this is your focus. you are focusing on this. So this is something that you are putting time and attention into. This is not something that you're doing from a distracted space. And it's really, really important to make this a focus, whether it be on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, whatever, because you want to pay attention to how you feel, but you want to go a step further, because remember, we're doing this to manifest with clarity, right? So there's some footwork behind this. This is not just yeah, I think positive all the time. Yeah, I know. No, this is not that. This is where you're putting that work in. So you're focusing on this. You're paying attention to how you feel, and then you want to record in whatever way that is for you. You want to record how it is that you feel. Whether you are a journaler, don't get me started on that. You know how much I love journaling. Whether you write it down on a calendar, whether you put it in your notes, whatever you do, it's very, very, very important for you to record how you felt when you are taking part in whatever new experience this is for you. All right, for you ladies that are already in that space where you know what you're passionate about, you know what your purpose is, you've been here and you've done that already, right? That's how you were able to really label that particular thing as, nope, this is my passion, nope, this is my purpose. Because you've been in that space to really identify with and have that buy-in about, yep, this is what I can do, and this is what I'm meant to do, right? So ladies, you're going to analyze after you've recorded this. You want to gather your information, because again, this is a process. This is a project, the best project that you'll ever work on, right? Project You. We're going to analyze. You know what? I don't do well in lounge settings. I do better in, small group settings, or I don't do well, whatever that is, whatever comes to your mind as you're reviewing these things, because what it's doing, it's helping you to sort through the details. What do you want? What don't you want? And once you identify that, we can pay more attention and put more energy into what it is that you do want. Right? I always give you guys a joke. I like tall men, not because they're tall, but because I like to wear heels. And for me, that's my very vain and shallow reasoning. Manifestation for me, there's a height requirement because I like to wear heels. What are those details for you? And I'm sharing, that very raw aspect of my ridiculousness because we all have it. Right? Do not apologize for your preferences, for your likes, your dislikes. If anything, you want to own that, because this is your life that we're manifesting, which moves me into, the last step, but then also to tell you that, this can be applied into all the different areas of your life, which is why I pretty much summarize it in terms of, manifesting the best version of you, your life, because this can be any aspect, but really looking at it holistically. After you have done all of this work, you have found out what you're passionate about, found out what your purpose is, you have put some focused attention on this thing, you have paid attention to how you feel, you have analyzed it, you've sorted through, you're like, nope, that doesn't work for me. No, family vacations don't work for me. I want to be on a vacation. I like the more intimate, whatever. Now it's time to take inspired action. Inspired action. What does that mean? How can I do more of this thing that I have determined I like to do anyway? How can I make this a part of me, a part of my life? Right? Because what you focus on grows. How can I grow this thing I've identified that I like? how can I grow this? How can I spend more time? Because you are basically building a relationship with your future self, right? Because you're looking for your passion and your purpose is there. It's just up to you to find it. And as you tap into how you feel, right, when you are in a certain space or doing a certain thing or around certain people or having certain experiences, you're getting a familiar feeling from what, I refer to as your higher self, the future you. I've been here before. Yeah, that's because this is where you're supposed to be, right? And this can be applied to your health, right? To your self-care. What does that need to look like? It's not all, when we talk about manifestation, it's not all like woo-woo and, abracadabra. It's, oh, you want that body? Okay, what kind of body do you want specifically? How does it make you feel at this weight? How does it make you feel at that weight? Imagine, what are you going to wear? What size can you fit in? Flat stomach or abs or whatever. Whatever that is for you, you want to get very detailed. And then you're taking that inspired action. And you're unstoppable. That's where the true magic is. Once you are in that zone of like, I like the way that this feels, and so I want more of it, so I'm going to do whatever it is that I need to do to feel this way more of the time. Oh, you're good to go. Right? So I'm trusting that this is right on time for you. However, I do want to really be honest in saying that this work is not easy, which is why I left this topic, this more so broad topic, to the end of this clarity series, because it does take some real effort, intention, and focus, especially when we are leading our busy lives. We are all busy, right? We're all navigating so much, especially in this present day. So, most definitely, if you feel like this has hit home for you and it's like, you know what? Gosh, Kara, I need to get clear on what it is that I want. I need to bring in some things and I need to get like Loctite focus on this. And this is what I really want. And I just don't even know how do I identify, how do I even get there? How do I start to bring it in? That's what I'm here for, right? So connect with me in the links of whatever platform it is that you're listening on. And we can most definitely vibe and work through that with you. But until then, in whatever way you feel is right for us to connect, I do have homework for you, as I always do. I would like you this week to place an intentional focus on your passion. So what does that mean? That means if you are someone that you have not identified your passion as yet, I want you to do some searching. I want you to try something new. And at least one thing, I don't care what that thing is, remote, in person, whatever. And I want you to pay attention to how you feel. That's your promise for this week. Now, if you are someone who you are passionate, you already know what your passion is, you already know what your purpose is, I want you to take one new action step surrounding that passion and your purpose this week. Okay? All right. And listen, until next week, keep doing your math differently. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Self Plus Love Equals Balance. Be sure to rate and review us on whatever app you use to listen. It goes a long way in helping others find our community. Until then, remember to do your math a little differently and love yourself.